What's going on, everyone? My name's Tenebris Infinite and welcome back to Rage 2. Last episode, we made it out of Vineland, the intro section of the game. Which might not sound like a crazy deal, but when you're on Ultra Nightmare Iron Man mode, even getting through the intro with our sanity intact is a huge accomplishment. Ultra Nightmare is super tough. The enemies hurt real bad and can take a ton of punishment. 2 to 3 bullets and we're dead, just like that. And with Iron Man mode turned on, the little burning heart in the bottom corner of the screen, if we die even once, then the game save nukes itself and we gotta start up from scratch. With our goodbyes said to our anime friend, we're setting off into the world now with our talking car named Phoenix. Yeah, we have a talking car, but admittedly we just kind of ignore Phoenix, so don't pay her any mind. She's way better than average vehicles in the game though. We can upgrade her with new weapons, and when she gets destroyed, we don't die immediately, which is huge. Whoa, hey, Mars meteor. Meteor from Mars. BFG in the Mars meteor Mars. The meteor from Mars had the BFG from Mars. Well bro, is that the BFG in the Mars meteor? Alright, so now we have the BFG, which is actually sick, and it's gonna help us out a ton. It's pretty much a one-shot kill on a lot of enemies. For those Doom aficionados out there, you know the way the BFG works. Basically, you shoot out a giant ball of plasma, it arcs a whole bunch of plasma to a bunch of enemies, and then if it makes contact, it makes a huge AoE explosion. But because this is Ultra Nightmare mode, the BFG's plasma arcs are nowhere close to being as effective as they would be in Doom normally. So the Sentry Watchtower is actually really cool. It comes from a period of time in the Rage lore that isn't explained super thoroughly, but you can learn quite a bit about it during Rage 2. During a period of time called the Authority Wars that happened after Rage 1. And so basically, I guess these Sentinel Towers got dropped all over the place throughout, like, the wasteland here, and they were just positioned around and would drop nukes on whoever was driving by, and so there's a bunch of them left over from the Authority Wars, kind of like minefields off in like real world locations. So we finally made our way off to Gunbarrel, and Gunbarrel's a really interesting little trade town. It's like this city situated around a giant sinkhole into a sewer. As we get into the town, Rattertat here is going to tell us that John Marshall is actually already looking for us, which is pretty handy because we're looking for him.
Fucking rectified that. Yeah, we'll see about that.
One of the main benefits of coming to a trade town, though, is the opportunity to trade. We finally get the chance to buy ourselves ammo, healing stims, upgrades, a whole bunch of stuff. And then over at the job board, we get to pick up bounties so we can earn money along the way here too.
You should check out Mutant Bash Arena up north. What a show! What a great show!
Mutant Bash is actually going to be pretty important to us later on, but it's going to be a while before we can get there. The fuck did you just...
Jimmy just need a tiny gulp, Marsh.
Chick just teleported right in front of us. Meeting up with John, he's pretty shook up about the whole Vineland situation. He didn't really expect the Rangers to go down, as most people probably didn't at this point in time. And Project Dagger, John serves a pretty integral part, having a specific piece of technology related to Project Dagger. But he can't hand it over to us because he's currently got a mutant problem, and of course, we gotta be the ones to fix it.
Muties. They're clogging up our power turbine in the sewers. Now, if someone was to take care of that. There's an underground stream down in these old sewers. We hooked it up to a turbine generator. Makes us completely independent. As in, we got our own power supply. We don't have to buy no feltrite from greedy traders fixing the market and playing dirty. Mother Nature provides.
And how's that working out for you?
Well, the apart from the occasional wrench in the works, like, say a mutie infestation clogging up the turbine, we're good.
So in order to get the hydro back on, we're gonna have to take out mutants for the first time here. And mutants can be pretty freaking tough. They fight you up close, they're really fast, they move really weird and unexpectedly. And also they have this crazy kind of puke thing that they throw at you that's real hit scan, super hard to dodge, and most of the time it's gonna be the thing that causes us a lot of damage here. But the thing about mutants that's kind of, I guess, nice is that they don't have as much of a threat against us at a range. Even though they've got that puke thing, it's nowhere close to being as hard to dodge as a hail of gunfire. Now, one of the main reasons why I came to Gunbarrel first, before getting any other powers, before even getting a defib or anything like that, and defibrillation is basically like an extra life here in Rage, is because the shotgun in Rage 2 is hands down possibly one of the best shotguns in all of video games.
For security scanning. Security scanning complete. Welcome to ARC 402A.
So we're gonna be going back to tutorial land here in the Ark, but weapon tutorials are kind of fun. You go into it and basically you shoot a couple dummy dudes, and then they give you a free overdrive, and you overdrive and you shoot some dummy dudes, and that's pretty much it.
That is the combat shotgun, an unstoppable force at close range, with the potential to knock enemies back. Good work. Accepted. In precision aim, the shell's lead are melted into a single solid slug with great knockback capabilities.
So just like how the pistol goes from a burst fire pistol to a single shot kind of sniper pistol when you aim down sights, with the shotgun it goes from buckshot to slugs when you aim down
Use
sights.
the combat shotgun's overdrive against the simulated enemies.
The overdrive is just so goddamn satisfying. It just fucking melts people. Immediately putting this thing to good use. I'm willing to bet that the combat shotgun is going to wind up being like the most used weapon throughout this playthrough. But the one thing that you might have noticed is that the combat shotgun's not perfect yet. It still lacks a little bit of killing power, and so we're going to have to upgrade the shotgun quite a bit before we can turn it into an absolute killing machine. And this chest is going to help us get there. Every chest we find is a quarter of the amount of money that we need for an upgrade. Just $1,000 per weapon upgrade. So we won't really need to find too many chests in order to get a decent amount of weapon upgrades. And there was death number 1. So, from this point, that means that our save file got nuked, and we gotta start over from scratch and make our way back to the shotgun. Luckily enough, it's not too much progress. It's only gonna take me a little bit to get back there, but as I said back in the first episode, this is gonna really suck once we get later on in the game. So, hopefully this will be one of the few deaths that we see in this playthrough. You know, I really like the lines that the mutants have. Like, some of them are like, drinky, drinky, blood, slurpy, and sometimes they're like, pizza time. And, like, you know, I vibe. I vibe with the mutant vibes. Australia knew what the fuck was up when they invented the boomerang, man. Our way through mutants here, I figure it'd probably be good to explain what these dudes actually are. So the mutants were made by the Authority, the big bads that attacked our city of Vineland in the last episode, as well as kind of just the big bads of the whole story. So they made the mutants in order to try to make, like, people more reactive to nanotrites. Nanotrites are the things that give rangers their powers. But they screwed up in the process and wound up making these abominations. And then they were just like, yeah, this is cool. So they made more. And then they added a bunch of robot parts to them. Yeah. So the Authority, they're the big bad. This room can be really tough to get through normally because you're stuck in these really tight quarters with those exploding dudes, and I'm pretty sure that in Ultra Nightmare those exploding dudes would kill us in one shot. So there's this little pipe over here that I'm just gonna kind of hide in and use this to cheese the enemies a little bit here. The next room just has a bunch of exploding dudes, so I think we're just gonna, like, haul ass and try to run through the whole thing. Freaking easy, man. And the nice thing about this room here is that as long as we don't go back to the last room, we'll not re-trigger those enemies. And we'll be able to just kind of take a moment to do a little bit of scooting and looting around here and just kind of catch our breath before we get into the last room of the series here.
I reached the turbine. Like you said, it's gummed up with some nasty mutant goo.
Yeah, you made it all the way down to Muty Central and you're still standing. Outstanding work, Ranger. Now you just need to find the lid and crack it open. Then you can flush it out.
So it's about time that we fought a boss in this game. And in the next room, we're going to be fighting an Abaddon mutant. And he's basically just this big dude with a minigun. He's pretty intimidating, but I think we're just going to pop off the BFG and hope for the best. After we kill him, there's 2 levers that we're going to have to flip really quickly. I'm going to try to not rely too heavily on the BFG, but there's a bunch of situations like this where we're just going to have to use the easy button. It's not really easy because we'll still probably be dying along the way.
Oh, hell.
Just like that, we took down the first boss.
Major, there are 2 switches in total. You gotta flip them both.
All that's left is flipping the 2 levers and just enduring the horde of mutants that's going to be coming our way.
One down, one to go.
Levers flipped, and we managed to actually pinball this one mutant into the other one and kill him in the process. I'm not going to do this too often throughout the playthrough here, but this is beautiful. This is why I enjoy Rage. Look at this.
Okay, it's starting to unclog. What now?
Once it's all flushed, close the lid. That'll reboot the turbine.
After waiting for the Hydra to kick back on, the elevators finally come down and we can go up and, I guess, reap our rewards for clearing out the sewer here. Our first real mission in the wasteland, and it's a plumbing mission.
Project Dagger. Now that's one for the books. It was me, Doc Cavassier, Lusum Hagar, and your own Sergeant Prowley. You do know Sergeant Prowley.
She raised me. Made me into the killing machine I am today.
I figured. You have that, extra something about you. Like you've been trained by the meanest and the best.
She didn't make it. She was killed in the attack.
I'm sorry to hear. That explains why you're here, I guess. Filling in for Prowley.
Whatever it takes to crush the authority.
Amen. By the way, what's your handle?
Call me Walker.
Walker it is.